Hey everybody, I had a late start to the morning, but what we saw today is the financials did not give us a two down. They instead changed to full time from continuity back up, which after the morning 60, you're going to see this in the XLF. So they did form the shooter, and then they went to the upside. If you go on the 30, you'll see they went 30, 2, 2, 2, and then 2 up again. Within the financials, we mentioned Citigroup was relative strength, and we saw that one get going in the morning, and then measured move and get going and confirming that relative strength at least to start the week. So 2-2 continuation, which means for the rest of the month that is following through. So you can actually throw that on the Strat attack here. If you go to Wells Fargo, this was weak, taking last week's lows, so not a long. That's not what we're looking for. Morgan Stanley was also some relative strength in the financials that we saw. The month in force as well, and that went 2 up on the day, and you'll see the 3-2 60-minute reversal above this. That's where I got it. And then I mentioned that in the chat, along with Goldman Sachs, which occurred a little later, but it was actually a bigger move. So people that got patient got that. Mentioned that in the chat as well. And I reduced some of my position at end of day, which removes my cost basis from being around 101 to being well below 100. So we'll see what comes of that. Again, close to exhaustion risk. But we'll keep an eye on those financials. And if we go to sorry about that. If you go to healthcare is staying inside week XLV. So they did try and rev strat the day. It just did not work. Notice they go 3 and then back into the 3-1 and then 2 reversal 60. So nothing we could do about that. ABT still was able to get some nice moves in there. You got the 3 in the morning, which triggered the day, 3-1-2 down. And then inside bar down makes low day exhaustion. I plated that and then I reduced, and just that was about it. There was no good stuff for me there. There's obviously more healthcares, but that was one I was watching and was keeping an eye on today. That being said, though, wasn't lackluster. Financials are pretty solid, and that was really all I got. Outside of that, going to the indexes now. SPY closes slight 2 up red, so if that goes 2-2, we'll be aware of it, but currently very green on the month, still 2 up week. Qs, same thing, slight red, but very green on the month still so far, so 2-2s maybe, but more than likely it's closer to confirming, trying to get it going again. Dow Jones, little lackluster still, could become rev strat month and rev strat week, but they're flat. And then IWM flat as well, sideways week, sideways month, doing nothing. So still waiting on that one to get moving. They're starting to really chop them up in there. That being said, though, as far as setups into tomorrow in the energies, XLE, we have the energy numbers coming out. You got Momo shoots everywhere. So XLE, Momo shoot, XOP, Momo shoot, and XOP has the week down. You'll see if we open this up here. It's closer to 2 down month, has the week 2 down, already hit magnitude, but bottom of that daily tried. So we'll be aware of that. The energy numbers. Energies 2 down there as well, and then OIH is inside down, which gives it relative weakness. So if they're going down this week, then OIH is more likely to make that new low compared to the other two. Given it went inside last week, it is relatively weak. If we go to PSX, you'll see this one's taken last week's and last month's lows with an outside month, showing aggression, then Momo shoot down there. Also 2-2 quarter back into previous range. So that could have some issues back through that. You'll see the big monthly try down in here, like so. If we go to CCJ in the energies, this could be a 2-2 shooter day, confirming a week, confirming a monthly signal. So it'd be inside week down, inside month down, shooter day down if things were to resolve lower tomorrow. And you obviously have things like CVX looking similar to that stuff. So it's not loading here. If we go to XOM, it's going to look very similar as well with the weekend down. So you got a lot of that stuff. Specifically in XOM, you'll see this 2-2 day, which could cause outside month. And once they do that, they have a 3. So the question is, after that, are we going to try and test the other side of this try at 95? So it still has 108 to go after, and then we'll see. If we go to, and I want to throw that up there. And let me add this one in here. LNG could also potentially have some problems with the shooter day to rev strat the week, but it's a little bit stronger than the rest, 2 up month still. So prefer to go after the weaker ones, but that is there for you. Miscellaneous, CELH in the consumers, took last month's low, so it's relatively weaker, but it could rev strat the week with the hammer day. This is occurring at the bottom of the big old weekly try like this. So you can either draw it back like this, or we can draw it to the recent low. But we zoom out even the daily try here. You can see way down at the bottom of it with the hammer day to rev strat the week. So we'll see if that tries to recover. McDonald's did go into the monthly exhaustion going outside on the year. So could it become a 3-2-2 day hammer and reclaim that? Would be something to know about. It's just not too close to the weekly continuity level, around 251. So that's got to stay in force if we're going to play it. And it would have to recover last month's lows at 249.35, or else it still has a monthly and down. Fox A has the week and up in force, momentum hammer month in force, back through previous range. Big ol' outside day up at the top of the daily range. So 1-3 on a Tuesday. We'll see if that 3-2s for those that like to play 3-2s. Roku. Also will be this nice little 3 to try and go 3-2 and get the week going, which would confirm a 3-2-2 month with the magnitude on the monthly to 66.58. So 3-2 above. Oops. 63.16, 66.58's up there. Airbnb for the 3-2-2s. This could become the 3-2-2 day back through previous range, potentially back into this weekly 3, which it's currently reclaiming at 152.93, and then back into this monthly inside bar. So failing an equilibrium break with a 3-2-2 day. I'd like to know about that. Crowd. Also in the tech, it's been going into recent highs, very green on all other time frames, but top of the daily try, 3-2-2 back through the previous range here towards 370, and could 1-1 and then 3 on the week to stop them out. And then we'll see if it triangles out and sets up again for the upside if they're going to do that. And you'll have this gap down here to go after as well. If we go to JBL, you'll see JBL potential 3-3-2-2 shooter day, and it'll only be able to give you outside week. It would 3-2 expansion of the month after going into all-time highs and starting to back off back in previous range. If you go to AFRM, this is momentum 2-2-2 shooter, and what you do is you'd confirm the 3-2-2 month. So you have the 3, they're at the lows of the 3. You'd be trying to make that expand. If that doesn't work, they could be back through it. So we want to be aware of that. Dix is on the 3-2-2 month list, and you'll see this potentially shooter day pivot machine gun. And we like pivot machine guns because once you take the first magnitude of the day, you're a lot more likely to take the rest of those magnitudes or pivots on the day here. So we'd like to see all these guys all out at once, giving a 2-down week continuation, which would confirm the month. They're going to keep confirming that. And the last one is you do have a little rev strat here in tap. We can load it up here. So you got 1-2-2 day in the tap here, and it would confirm a 3-2 expansion month that has been occurring, 3-2 expando, and you do have some weekly range to come back through. It's currently 3 weeks inside, but you got to get out of that at 4.919, and then if you hit those higher time frames, you'll see on the quarter, it's back into a previous range here. I'm going to go on the month, or on the year, I mean. You can see on the year, it is attempting to go 2-2 rev strat year with the day to trigger the month and quarter continuation to trigger the year 2-2 reversal down. So you'd have a lot of 3-2s expanding with the 3 in here on the quarter, and it'd go back through those guys. On the utility side of things, you also have some rev strats. XLU, potentially rev strat day pivot machine gun. If it does not do this, though, we have weekly hammer and monthly potential rev strat the other way. So this rev strat's gonna be important. Either if that works, then this is kind of a bad thing, right? You'll take the month back down and try and go outside week. If that does not trigger and it stays up, or maybe it pokes down and comes back up, you'd have full time frame continuity with week and month signals. So very, very important to understand both sides of this will matter to us. If you go to CEG in there, this would be a shooter day pivot machine gun trying to rev strat the week in the utilities. Double inside month still, but that can make it more likely to come back in. In the strat attack side of things, you'll have GLW, 2 up to start the week. Very long green bars running on some type of news. Coming up to short-term daily exhaustion or yearly exhaustion at 47 let's see, 46.82. Used to be somebody a lot higher, so I'd like to pay attention to that. If we go to Upstart, Upstart's got the weekend up in force, big old 3 on the day, so it's also part of the 3-2s continuation. If we go to the month here, the month could become the 3-1-2 to the upside. What I'm specifically seeing here is this weekly try 3 back into the 3. So the magnitude of this can be a lot bigger, 27.22. And therefore, 3-2s in here, potentially those 26 calls are pretty cheap if that starts to get moving. Intel went inside week up to start the month, is going inside month and up back to previous range. Momentum hammer day if the tech want to get going again tomorrow. Strat attack, Morgan Stanley. It's going to be on the Strat attack, which is why I held that long. If we go to Lulu, it's going to be on the Strat attack to the downside with the month in force, which we picked up on before the new month and quarter. MTD is just getting killed in here. Inside month down, bright red. A little bit of a bigger stock, though. But whatever they're doing, they're not doing it very good. So they're getting killed. If we go to Citigroup, it's also going to be Strat attack with the bright green hammer month in force, 2 up to start the week. So that's going to be your nightly vid. I know there's a lot, but we'll have energies an hour after the open. And then miscellaneous is what we'll track to see if there's any gaps or anything that negate those setups or what we have going in force tomorrow on the in-force scans. And then the Strat attack, we'll keep an eye on the rest of the week to see if those want to get really moving. So that's going to be about it for me. I'll see you guys bright and early, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.